Mhm. Mhm. Stand by your man or your woman, and they will always love you. Good morning, people. I'll give y'all a second to come in here. People who need people. Hey, there you go. Hi, Tabby Cat. Gemini, so precious. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Well, it looks like one of the biggest stories certainly of today is that big interview with Oprah Winfrey and Meghan and Harry last night. I can't believe that I'm actually talking about this. Of course, everybody in the world is talking about it, so it's not like I can add anything to the story. But I believe that we all have an opinion. One person's opinion is not necessarily more important than another person's opinion. But I usually don't follow the royals. I have no interest in that. I mean, it amazes me that they still have kings and queens over there. But this was a totally different take. Because, of course, we were all excited that Meghan was marrying Harry because, I mean, it represented not only America, but also African-American people. She is a biracial girl. She appears to be white, but she is a biracial girl. And they had this big romance, big love affair. And it seems like the British people were not very kind to her at all. They were not very receiving of her. They had this huge wedding. I think the wedding was something like $60 million. How can you spend $60 million on a damn wedding? Whatever. It tells you the kind of money involved in this thing, though. Anyway, so at least as far as I'm concerned, I thought, well, this woman is really going to have a charmed life. She's going to be royalty. You know, it's a life most people would dream of. And it seems like it was closer to a nightmare than a dream. She went on, and right from the beginning, they expressed how this split where they have, her and her husband have left the royal family. They first moved to Canada, and then she goes into why. And it wasn't because they just chose to leave the royal family. No, they ran her out. They killed that boy's mother. They killed Harry's mother, paparazzi, and now these tabloids have basically made this woman so uncomfortable because all the negative press she got over there. I mean, she had to know that it was going to be rough, right? Good morning, people. Hi, Lisa Jackson. She had to know going in that it was going to be rough. She heard the stories about Diana, I'm sure. Diana was killed basically by the paparazzi. Call it an accident if you want to, but they just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. There was no privacy and so forth. So she went on to tell us all about what it was like to be locked up. I'm sure we can all relate to that now since everybody's pretty much locked up all over the globe. But she in particular was locked up. She'd only been out of the house twice in 4 months. This is before COVID. The people were not particularly kind to her over there. The tabloids were in cahoots with the royals. They actually had parties there for the tabloid that they worked together. And she just felt in a general way like she was not being protected. She said that the royal family had promised her that she would be protected. And she didn't. They didn't feel supported at all. And there was a lot of racist comments made about their family. I think probably the most significant thing for me in this is I love the way Harry is sticking by his wife. Meghan went on to say that she had become so miserable, so distraught, that she actually considered killing herself. I don't think she was lying or exaggerating. I think that was real. She was at her wit's end. She couldn't go anywhere. She was locked down. She didn't even have a driver's license. This was a life that Harry, they have grown up in this. Maybe Harry has never had a driver's license. I don't know how that works. But she became so distraught she wanted to kill herself. So him being her husband, he did what I thought was the honorable thing. He stuck by his family, his new family, not his old family, his big family, which were the royalty. To save his wife's life, they made a plan to leave. That life was not for them. The Brits were not accepting of her. They resented her apparently being American, for one thing, being an actress, and primarily being black or being part black or having any she wasn't from royalty, put it like that. Anyway, let me see. Then we got to some of these real bombs in here. These people had actually told her that her children, unlike all the other white children, would not be treated the same, and her children would have no royal title. Now, I'm not clear if this was because they left or before they left. That simply by the fact that her children were black or I don't know what else it would be. I think it's basically because they were black. They would be treated differently than the other royals. They would have no position in the family. And then when they left, they decided they could not take it. It was too overwhelming. And this girl could actually lose her life. And they left and moved to Canada. The father cut off them from money. They don't even have any money. He says he has whatever Diana left him. His mother left him. Remember, his mother she was killed when he was a young boy. So she had some money. Apparently, they live up here in California. Where do they live? Not in LA. They live temporarily in. I didn't know this, but they live in Tyler Perry's house. I didn't even know he had a house in LA, but I guess he can have a house wherever he wants to. They lived there for a few months, and now Santa Barbara. So they didn't film the thing at their house, but they live in Santa Barbara. I think it's probably better for them as far as their relationship, because she was about to lose her mind in there, right? So not only are the kids not going to be royalty, they're not going to have any official title, but they cut them off financially. Now we're talking big. If they spend $60 million on a wedding, you can imagine how much money we're talking about here. And he's been raised up in that all of his life. So now we might consider whatever Diana left him a fortune, but I'm sure they don't. Right? But they wanted to leave all of that behind. What else you say? She asked repeatedly, she told those people, listen, I am not handling this well. I'm about to lose my mind and I need help. So we can assume that means she needs psychiatric help. And she even felt like she needed to go and be locked up somewhere in like a sanatorium or something. And they said, no, that cannot happen, because everything they do is scrutinized by this very, very evil press, or people who are treating her very badly. So no, you can't be going and checking into no facilities. I don't know why they couldn't just bring therapists in, swear them some kind of secrecy or something, and get this girl some help. But they decided that they would just leave. I mean, that's big thing. I don't know how often something like that would happen, but I respect him as a man. This is my wife. If you're not going to respect my wife, you don't respect me. If she goes, I go. And our children go. So why these people decided now that these people, they also made a big thing. A lot of this interview is about removing security from their family. So royals always have security, right? So these people are saying that they don't even give a damn if your children, something happened to your children. I mean, what is to prevent the children from getting kidnapped? They have no security at all. And Meghan was very, very, very concerned about that. Right? And Harry had always had security since he was a baby. And they're going to remove that now? What are you saying? We don't give a damn if you die? Anyway, so it doesn't seem like there's anything good about this being a part of this family. It seems like it's a nightmare. I don't know how close even the relationships were within that. They all put on a good show, but that's what they do. I mean, it's all about the show, right? But apparently she was in those palaces miserable. And now they have some lawsuit saying that, oh, she was rude she bullied the servants. Like England now, they all of a sudden they're concerned about the servants. Anytime you watch an English movie, it's always upstairs and downstairs, honey. That is the only country in the world where you see all of these servants. They have the upper classes, and in every damn movie we see, the lower classes are always serving them. So now they're concerned that she was rude to the maid. I think that's horse shit. I think that's bullshit. I don't see this girl as being no kind of a bully. I see her as being a woman on the edge and could very easily decide to check out. I don't think she made that up. I don't believe it. Good morning, people. Did y'all watch it? I mean, it's very interesting because I don't watch stuff like that. I had no interest whatsoever. But I clicked on it. This is what the story is for today. And I could not turn it off. So I missed the first 15 minutes. And then I couldn't pull away from it. So it's a very good interview. It told us a totally different story. I mean, from the little bits and pieces that I've been able to hear. She did mention about how these people had tracked down her father. They tracked down her father and her mother, right? Her mother handled it well and did not speak to the press because she knew it would only be used against her daughter. But the father, he was paid large sums of money. He betrayed her, and then he denied that he had done that. So they came at him basically with a lot of money and stuff, you know. And so their relationship is splintered. It seems to me all the relationships are splintered. Harry even said that his father, who would be the potential king of England, Prince Charles, what's his name? Prince Charles. He's not even on speaking to her. He won't even take his calls. Now you can imagine now if your father is Prince Charles, he's not even taking your calls. So a lot of this is because of the fact that they left the royal family, but apparently they had reason to leave the royal family. So it wasn't good even before that. Basically, these people are not accepting this girl. They made her life miserable. We can't blame it all on the family, but we can blame it partially on the family like they do because they did not stand up for them. They did not feel like they were being supported at all. These people were more kowtowing to the press than they were to her husband and their child, which is now going to be 2 children. So now she's going to have a girl child as well. So I don't know how these people who call themselves royalty are going to let their grandchildren be out in the United States somewhere with no security at all. I mean, we even protect our president's kids after they leave the White House. Whatever. I was amazed that they had treated her so badly, and the racism was so blatant. They showed us several of the headlines. I mean, those are really they were blatantly racist all over the place. We know that their press can be cruel, but we think in 2021, with all of this, the eyes on them, that they would not have treated her so badly, right? Okay, what do you guys think? If you haven't watched it, watch it. CBS is on the morning show today. Oprah is on there talking to Gail, you know, which is her best friend. And they're also playing many of the clips from what happened last night. So this is a big story. It's big all over the world. I don't know if this is going to make anything better in that family, though. I'm sure those royals, because they don't want you to say anything ever at all. They didn't even want her to even have a visit with her friends. I don't think they're going to take this very well. You see. Stolen resources from Africa. Don't they have a lot of money though, S-Child? I mean, I don't think money, being a lack of money has been their big issue. Well, whatever. I never followed the story. I don't find all that royal stuff very interesting. Although I was amazed that some of these people, including Oprah Winfrey herself, are fans of the show, The Royals. So maybe I should watch that. I thought it was just a silly little TV show. perhaps there's some it's worth watching, because all of these people seem to be watching it. That's terrible to go over and treat that girl badly like that. I mean, it's just horrible. Then they're gonna say, "Oh, she was bullying the servants." Girl, who's zooming who? That's a bullshit ass story. I mean, how much could she bully them? Hell, you don't like what you say, quit. Don't they all? I mean, these people, they're all so rich and they're royal and all that kind of shit. Aren't most of them snappy to the servants? Are they all perfect gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen at all times? That's bullshit. They're trying to divert from the real story. But I gotta say, Harry, I like the guy, her husband, Harry. He sided with his wife and his new family. I mean, he gave up a lot. He gave up a couple of thousand years of history as well. But who knows what's going to happen in the future? That they won't be able to mend fences and so forth. I can't see that these royal people having their grandchildren, their grandchildren, running around in the streets without security, no title, no money. Well, they just going. I mean, these people, they still got to make. I guess they got to make a living now. Are they going to have Harry's wife being an actress again to make money? A lot of hurt feelings over there. Terrible. I mean, God, you would think it would be. She don't have this charmed life. She was so lucky. She was so fortunate, girl, to be pushed to the edge of your life. Tyler Perry for security because the royal family took away their security. Tyler Perry provided security. I mean, how much would it cost them to keep security on? It doesn't make any sense. How much does a couple of security guards cost? They got $60 million spent on a damn wedding. It's on the taxpayers' dime. I'm sure that people have more than enough dimes already accumulated. They have been the royal family for what, a couple of thousand years? So they're being nasty. The father won't even answer the phone. Racist royals. So I guess those presses over there are just going wild. Any little thing. I'm sure they review it, even how she held her teacup, the finger go up and all that. To have a whole 2-hour interview with Oprah Winfrey in America, I'm sure that it's kind of wild over there at the moment. But they're not there. They don't got to deal with it. I don't know how guarded the life they would have to live even here. But there are big celebrities here. I mean, they're in Santa Barbara. Those are all rich people. That's where the Reagans live, right? So I'm sure that they'll be treated like celebrities over here. We're not like we want to hurt them or anything like that. This is why I've always supported her. I knew they wouldn't treat her right. This is why I've always supported her. I knew they wouldn't treat her right. Well, we have to do a better job over here, people. Tabby Cat. They sound pretty. They showed all these headlines. God, they were hard. They called her everything but a monkey and a child of God. Everything scrutinized. She couldn't make one decision on her own. I'm sure she didn't even have a cell phone. So maybe we don't know what the state of mind of Harry was even. He said he felt like he was capped. What was this terminology? He was a prisoner as well, to that effect. So he might not have even enjoyed that kind of a life for himself, although he didn't know anything any different than that. Perhaps he was just as dissatisfied with the way being a part of the royal family was as well, because he definitely chose to leave. They made that decision together. I would imagine she has come to him expressing her misery, and then she wanted to die. And he said, I have got to save her because they are in love with each other. They're in love with each other. And now they have children to consider as well. Right? So maybe this is just a sign of the times. Maybe the monarchy is not so important. I'm sure there are people in the family who love it, and there are probably some in there who hate it. So I imagine being married into it is a totally different experience because it seemed to be so pulled up over there. They were just not going to let her ever be comfortable. Horrible. The whole world looking at you. What does it do to all the other black? We don't see all the other black people who live in London, but there are lots of other black people. How do they feel about the way the royal family has treated this black girl who's come into the family? How do we feel about it? Harry and Meghan with Netflix and Spotify deals are worth almost $200 million. Well, that ain't no money to them. You say they're worth that much? $200 million. Their deals are worth that much? Well, hell, so is David Chappelle. I don't know what the financial condition of these people are, but they're billionaires. They have lots and lots and lots of money. I mean, we're talking about thousands of years where they have been basically the head of the country. They live in houses, big as quarter of San Francisco. When I saw those palaces. Her cell phone, passport, and keys were taken away. You are now property of the royal family. What does she call them? She calls them the agency or something. The grandfather is a racist. Harry's damn near dead. He just got out of surgery, but he's 99 years old. It's not like what is he going to be? They said, well, we don't know. Maybe this is not the right time since Harry just got out of the hospital. But baby, you're 99 years old. You're going to always be just getting out of the hospital. So when will the right time be? Right? It's not like he's going to be 97 next year and 96 the next year. No, it's progressive. So next year, he'll be 101. Is that the right time? Both of them seem to not want to criticize the queen. They said she was, I'm sure the queen wouldn't get down in the mud anyway. She can be the queen. But they made a point to express that it wasn't her. There was an issue between the father and the son, however. Harry and his father, Charles. Charles was not even taking his, and you would think that he would understand after what his wife went through. His wife didn't have to deal with racism, but they pushed that woman to the very, very edge of sanity as well. Well, you have to get in the car, you have to outrun the goddamn paparazzi. You have to actually be in high-speed chases with them. They had pushed that woman to the edge as well, honey. So you would think he would be more understanding. So Harry fell in love with the black girl. I guess that's the cardinal sin. I don't even know why they even need these royal family over there, kings and queens and all this stuff. They don't even run the country. Okay, I'm falling behind here. Let me see what else you guys say. Our taxes, banks, at anything that is owned by them, plus those stolen jewels, are what makes them rich forever. Curly, are you from Europe? You said our taxes. Carly, Letty, our taxes banks. So maybe you're from UK. The firm. Prince Philip, excuse me, not Prince Charles. Oh, Charles is the other. Is that the other son? You see how much I follow. Prince Philip. You're correct. His name is Philip. Okay, guys. Okay, I got it. Oh my goodness, all the Philips. Okay, people. I made a mistake. Excuse me. I don't follow the royals, honey. So who is Prince Charles? Who is that? That would be his father? Philip would be the king, or the one that next in line to be king? He's 99 years old. Lord have mercy. Well, see, I can't just jump in there. I was surprised, though, that I was able to get somewhat of an idea of what was going on there through this interview with Oprah, though. So it was informative for me because I've never watched not one episode of anything involving them. I was just happy that you know, they had gotten married. Seemed like a nice thing. And they seem to be very much in love with each other. And hopefully they'll stay together. Let's hope that they will stay together despite all this foolishness. They can come over here and make their fortune over here. And maybe that's the future of the monarchy. Not everybody has to stay under siege, shall we say. I knew I was going to mess these names up, though. So the more I talk, the more I'm going to mess them up. And mother's love reaches far. The people's queen, Diana's money provided for Harry and Meghan to leave the pond, and their guardian angel, Tyler Perry Wing, gave them a foundation and protection in the U.S. Yeah, they'll have friends here. They had Oprah, for one thing. Oprah might be the one who approached Tyler Perry because I don't know that they would know Tyler Perry per se. He might have been at their wedding. Oprah was certainly there. So she could, I mean, she's good friends with Tyler Perry. She could have arranged that. He's probably got a house sitting there empty anyway, you know. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they'll have tremendous friends and stuff like that. But they have their own house now. The royals are part of the evil 13 families. Now they're going to try to smear her. Oh, she bullied the servants. Somebody quit. Girl, that's the news. That's obvious. She doesn't even come across as an arrogant woman. Why would she be arrogant in all that splendor? She's probably just going out of her mind to try to get out of the house. Can I take a walk at least? Oh, no, that will never happen. It's not the first time a royal get up. Okay. So I don't know, Natitia. I don't know any of the stories. So there was another black lady who married into that family, right? I wonder what happened with that relationship, because I don't know any of the history. They say she wasn't the first. Oprah and Tyler aren't on the best of terms right now. Okay. Monica. There was a rumor Diana's tennis teacher was Harry's dad. Oh my goodness. Only because he was a redhead too. I don't know why they're so concerned about the color of the child. Of course, be fine with me if he was dark skinned, but he's a damn ginger with red hair, red beard, everything red, with the skin as white as you can get it. And she appears to be a white woman, really. So I don't know. They say that your genes, though, can skip a generation. You can have a dark-skinned man and a dark-skinned woman, but if their parents were light-skinned, they can skip a generation. That's what they were concerned about. Both of them were not exposed who had this conversation with them. Apparently, the conversation was had with Harry, concerned over what color the child who is, I put it in the title, the child who is Archie, what color Archie would be. How? I was very surprised by that kind of language. They knew the woman was biracial when she came in there. Why would this be some? They knew she was biracial when she married him, when she was his girlfriend. I mean, they didn't just get married like that. They knew all this. So why even bring that up, honey? What color he was? The fuck difference does it make? This world, boy. Okay, but Harry, okay, only because he was a redhead too, but Harry is his grandfather's mirror. So the rumor is not true then. If his hair looks like his dad, I would imagine they would do DNA tests on these people. If they had some kind of rumor like that. The way that British press, though, is no joke, honey. I guess they make millions of dollars for taking pictures. They have paparazzi here too, but we never had the problem that they have in UK, as far as I know. There was a time when the paparazzi were always being discussed here. Racism will never die. That's bad. That's pitiful. That's your family, and you're going to ostracize your own damn family. So what if something happens to one of those kids? Because they done pulled all the security from the people and just let them be. So what, the kids are going to be working at McDonald's, Burger King? Gold, blonde hair, and hazel eyes. Both my husband and I are black. Tabby Cat. Yep, my children have gold, blonde hair, and hazel eyes. Both my husband and I are black. Right. I have a sister. She doesn't appear to be white or anything, but she's a very, very light-skinned girl with sandy colored hair. But her father was dark skin. And our mother was like a medium complexion, a little bit lighter than me. But she came out very, very light. So apparently somebody on her father's side was light skinned like that. So it skipped 2 generations. They buried the other black girl in a unmarked grave. Oh my goodness. Are y'all giving us real information here? The Church Lady Reed show. They buried the other black royal girl in a unmarked grave in the royal garden. Oh Lord. Y'all getting this stuff from tabloids, or y'all getting it from real history? Why she had to write so many letters? What the fuck? That's the only way she can communicate, apparently. Now here's somebody saying that Harry looks like Captain James Hewitt. I think I remember that story. They had so many stories about Diana. I'm sure she was just as miserable, even though it wasn't based on race. That race thing hurts even more, to say that my children are not the same as their children because their skin is lighter. That's got to hurt a lot. What do you mean? You're going to take security away from my kids? My kids don't have, you're taking their birthright from them because because my mother was black? I mean, how do you explain something like that? What is the reason why you would remove, he wouldn't have his birthright? He's born, he was, whatever. Don't get me to understand it. Try to understand it, child. Oh, no. Wait a minute now, Elizabeth Young. Markle is a liar. Why are you calling that lady a liar? I didn't get the impression she was lying at all. Why would she lie? Lie for what? You think they wouldn't fact check her lies if she was lying? Elizabeth, change that attitude. We need to be supporting that woman over here. We need to be treating her like royalty here and nowhere else. God damn. Right. That's what I was thinking about. Non-white British people. We don't see them all on their television, but there are a lot of black people in UK. So, I mean, what does that say to them? Oprah doesn't know her. Who the hell is this? Okay. Church lady, what's wrong? Now y'all tearing up Oprah. Lord have mercy. Child, you're gonna jump on Mark on her, on Meg now, and you want to jump on Oprah. Let's not turn into the very things we're criticizing here, people. I don't watch Oprah because Oprah's too rich for me to watch. I like people in the struggle, honey. When people get to be multi-billionaires, I don't. Girl, we from different worlds. Tyler's getting to be there too. I just find them less interesting when they become extremely successful. Because I'll be thinking, well, damn, you just ask a few questions, that makes you all that. But that's the way it is, honey. I ain't hating. I'm just saying this. I find you less interesting when you get to reach that level of success. I don't really follow people like that. She put on a top-notch interview though. I guess she's the new Barbara Walters. She'll be doing these big interviews. I mean, she's always done them, but this wasn't even on her network. This was broadcast on CBS. Oh, come on. Okay. I don't have no moderators in here. But Ian, Mitzi, don't say stuff like, I'm taking you out. I'm sorry. I can't. You're doing too much, honey. You're put in timeout. Stop talking like that. Why isn't she committed? I don't even want to repeat that. It's nasty. Why y'all? Don't be. This is her home. This is America. She has brought her royal husband here to live a peaceful life. It is not for us to become what the Brits were to her. Right? We did have our own black president, right? We did have our own black first lady, our own black first family, right? We do right now currently have the vice president of the United States of America, who is also biracial. Okay? We ain't trying to be like them, honey. At least not on this subject. I had no idea because people always told me that racism was less in Europe. I've always heard that. But not with these tabloids, honey. Not with these people. I mean, the situation with her, and they just started putting black people in their dramas and so forth. Y'all notice that? Before, you would thought everybody there was white. Okay, when we were protesting, black people in the UK were protesting too. Yeah, it'll be curious. I will follow this story today. It's going to be curious to see what's going on there in Europe now, because I'm sure that this has caused quite a stink. Remember, there are people that voted for Trump, so we know there are idiots out there. Yeah, you're right, Elaine. They voted for Trump, and we're in bad shape too. Racism is alive. They all jumped on the Donald Trump train because of what? Because of race. That's what he announced coming off the escalator. This was all going to be about race, honey. That's just what it was. People finally started talking less about him. Now they're saying Jared Kushner, he's trying to get some distance because against Miss Donald Trump go off on these tirades. And he said, enough. Can I get back to my own millions now, please? Thank you. Teach them just, it's just Rory. I wonder why I have such a hard time pronouncing names. Is that dyslexia? Oh my goodness. Natitia, my husband was born in England. He was chased and called the N-word as a child. Black people are hated everywhere. I guess it is the truth. It is sad, honey. There's got to be some a blowback behind this over there, I would imagine. Well, European whites, the whites here came from there, right? The same people. People Donald Trump considers white, they all came from Europe, right? I just thought they would have more public respect for the woman, though. Hubba, who is here to bash Mark? I'm not putting up with that shit, honey. Okay. Oh, Hubba, behave yourself. I really, if you're over here just to bash that woman because she's come and told her truth, I'm taking you out. I'm just letting you know. That's your opinion. Take it somewhere else, honey. It's too early in the morning to sit up here and listen to all that racist bullshit. Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth II have African ancestry. Okay. I don't know. I never follow any of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, you won't forgive Oprah what she did to Michael Jackson. I imagine it's hard being Oprah too, honey. Yeah, I remember after the first. Well, she's happy. I mean, she's gonna have her family. They live mostly up on their own properties and stuff anyway. These people with, real rich people. It ain't like they're out here going to Kroger and stuff like that anyway, right? So they'll just live like royalty here. They'll live like the Obamas here. I'm sure they'll start some charities, some stuff. They got to start stuff for money too. They got to live. Too early in the morning to be disgruntled. The Royals are not even trying. I guess following the Royals over there is like a sport, right? So they've got quite a game going right now. Yeah. I mean, man won't even speak to his son. Is he won't, Philip, he won't speak to his son. He won't take his calls because he left or because he married Meghan. I wonder which one it is. Well, there are probably already issues before he left. I mean, a lot of families, though, when they have interracial relationships, will initially balk. It's not unusual. I mean, my family, we had mixed race families in our family, even back in the 60s when it was unheard of. My uncles, so it was not a big deal to us because we've always had interracial people in our family. But some people, they still react to it badly initially. But this thing was so public, and they made it such a grand thing that they were so accepting and so wonderful. And she said they even started out that way. So we're not sure that that it's not every member of the royal family or the firm, but she probably didn't even have much contact. And it hurts to be stubbed somewhere. If you're at a damn dinner table and everybody's looking the other way, like you're not one of them, it got to be too much. You think it would never happen to Titia? Titia? No, not Titia. I think things will get better. I mean, it's kind of maybe she's setting a new trend for that family. They've tried to do away with the whole monarchy, I think, for years. There have been at least some people who feel like it was unnecessary to support this monarchy for 2,000 years, particularly since they don't run the country. I think they do mostly charity work. Philip, thank you, RJ Supreme. In this channel, we support our people no matter their social status, despite what people think. Money doesn't erase racism. Apparently not, hun. It sure don't. I'll probably make it worse. Rich people, they feel better than everybody, though, so we don't hear it as much from them. In this country, we hear mostly about racism from poor people. Poor people who hold on just to the fact that they're white. That's it. But that doesn't mean that the rich people don't feel the same way. But they just feel they're superior to everybody in a general way, you know. It's too early. We ain't got no moderators in here. Y'all trying to get all y'all negative stuff in. Ooh, let me go in here and throw in some nastiness. Well, I think America, what they consider white. I mean, is there really white people? I mean, it's just purely based on the color of the skin, right? Because these people, they come from you can be from Germany, you can be from, I mean, various parts in Europe. There are also other countries that have very light skin, Switzerland and all these kind of different places. So they all, when they're over there, they're whatever they are. I'm an Italian, or I'm a Greek, or I'm a whatever. I'm a Swede. When they get over here, they're white. America groups them all into you're white. So I don't know what they feel like. I didn't even know that there are many Latin people who consider themselves to be white. I didn't know that. I always thought you were Latin. There was another group of people, and Asian people were Asian. But I think it is kind of amazing because over there, where I guess most people's skin is light, they are determined by where country they come from, and their status, their economic status, their classes over there. Very much so. I remember asking my mom when I was a kid. I said, "How come all the people in everybody in Europe, they either are the maid or they're the lords of the house? Don't they have firemen? Don't they have teachers and regular middle class type people? They always showed us the rich and the poor, the upstairs and the downstairs." I guess that just was the style of drama that they had over there. And I'm not hating on the European people. I know it's not all them. It's that goddamn paparazzi over there. I think it's the primary issue. It seems like she has more issues with them than she has with the royals. Her big issue with the royals was they didn't defend her, or they didn't protect her, because they could have made these tabloids not report the way they were reporting, but they never stood up for them. They never respected them, and they never supported them. Right? They allowed it to happen. Apparently, they can control that because they're intertwined. They're trying to smear her. What a pitiful little smear campaign. Oh, she's a bully to the maid. Oh, somebody quit. Oh, somebody quit. How many people do you employ there in the goddamn palaces of yours? Are there 5,000, 6,000 people working there? And somebody quit. Oh, she's terrible. She's a witch. Such bullshit. I still don't mess with Oprah after what she did to Michael Jackson. Well, I don't know what she did to Michael Jackson. She reported his story differently than she reported other people, white people stories. She put up with Weinstein and all that kind of stuff. See, y'all more into this celebrity stuff. I ain't never thought Miss Oprah as being a goddamn queen of shit. I mean, she's a wealthy woman, and I'm very happy for her that she's made a career for herself. But because of her interview, doesn't mean shit to me. This doesn't mean anything. I thought it was a good interview, but we people with this celebrity stuff. I mean, Oprah is an interviewer. What does the interviewer do? She's doing what I'm doing right now. She just asked a few questions, and y'all have made her, the queen. We make anything celebrity here. Somebody goes and do a rhyme, it got 4 or 5 verses in it, and all of a sudden now they're a celebrity. So don't get mad at them, honey. You made them. I think Oprah has some good acting chops, though. I mean, after all, it was at the same time as her show was taking off, but she was very good in The Color Purple, and the career took off from there. So she's just been able to build on it and do her own thing and own her own stuff. She's a brilliant, remarkable woman. I'm not hating on her. I'm just saying I don't follow a lot of this celebrity stuff. That's why I don't do much celebrity gossip on here. It's not that interesting to me. But what she did to Michael Jackson, did she report on his story? I hate to move the conversation into that, but I really don't remember what she did to him. What did she do to him? Okay, we might as well ask a question at least. Here's the question. And don't be criticizing your uncle for not staying on top of all this stuff. There's thousands of stories a day. What did Oprah Winfrey do to Michael Jackson that was so offensive? Somebody tell me. I know you will. Try to just be, let me see, too early in the morning. Just, girl, I'm so far behind in this thing. Y'all done talk for a whole half hour. I'm way up in the beginning. She was on a mission to bag a rich white Englishman and bagged her Joker Prince, who is the history. Right. Well, the thing with Elizabeth Young, with her, if she wanted to bag her a rich, a lot of women want to bag a rich man. Why you want to fall in love with a rich one or a poor one? But the thing is, that's not something you can just jump in for 4 years and jump out again, right? And then live a life of royalty for the rest of your life. It ain't like here you're president for 4 or 8 years, right? And then you get a whole life on the other side of that. This never ends. I mean, you part of the family, it's forever. So she was never going to get out of the house. She was never going to get a break. She wasn't raised up in it, born up in it. So it was probably never going to make sense to her. And if she's being stubbed within the family or right there in the damn house where she lives, she would probably be a pretty miserable woman. You tell them, Grind. Black folks need to focus on our own families. Get off them phones. Get off them TVs. They are going DoorDash, HelloFresh. They are doing DoorDash and HelloFresh. They got to have official food tasters. That's the world he came from. When they have food tasters, make sure that nobody trying to poison the royalty. Philip is the grandpa. Charles is the father who funds their lifestyle. Okay, so what is the relationship with Charles? So who is not speaking to, won't accept the calls? Is it Charles or is it Philip? Now, Philip's 100 years old. He probably ain't taking too many calls from too many people. But his father is Charles. Charles still alive, correct? Y'all got to bring me along. I still want to know remind me, What did Oprah Winfrey do to Michael Jackson? And please don't come with this shit about Monique. I don't care nothing about that damn story of Monique. I do remember that one. Okay. In the hospital. Okay. English Black Queen Sophia. Okay. English Black Queen Sophie Charlotte, born Queen Charlotte of England, 1863. Portrait, Princess Sophie Charlotte. I'm probably getting the damn name wrong. Was born on, okay, you get the whole history. Religion and race usually gets family members ostracized. And then you also have to consider that they're used to dealing with all these royal people. She was an American actress. It ain't the first time. I mean, wasn't Princess Grace, wasn't she in Monaco? Wasn't she an actress? We had a president that was an actor here. Then we just had a reality star that was a president. Shit. Prince Harry. Yeah, now I think we should give Prince Harry his props. He is treating his wife with dignity and respect, because he could have just dumped her. He could have just said, I made a mistake, and just dumped his wife by bowing down to the wants of his family, right? Then he would have been miserable the rest of his life. He stood by his wife, stood by their children. They went on to make other children. They say they're finished, though. They say they're going to only have 2 kids. 1 boy, 1 girl. Every time she mentions the baby, though, she smiles. So they'll get their joy there. As long as they can stay out of them damn tabloids. If you don't know what they were talking about, it won't bother you as much, right? So apparently, Harry says that if Meghan would have heard the things they were saying about her in the press, she probably would have done it. So she was just going by, I guess, what she was getting off television. She was not following the tabloids, but she has a real problem with them damn tabloids. Where did we go? I just lost you, RJ. Where you go? Now, how did that happen? RJ Supreme, I just saw your super chat. Thank you, brother. And then you said something, and now it's not even on the chat anymore. What? How does that happen? Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm way back then. Okay. Queen didn't question the skin color of the baby, but we know she and the family did. They all probably wondered. It wouldn't surprise me that they would have a passing thought of what color the child would be if you have an interracial relationship, right? Although Meghan, she appears to be almost white. She looks like she's more Italian than black, than the interracial marriage, right? So I don't know. I'm not surprised to me that they would be curious or have a thought of that. To voice it out loud, though, and to actually confront Harry with it, that is what is amazing to me. Because what the fuck is he supposed to do about it? The thing is done. They're already married. Child was already conceived. So why even bring it up? So apparently, whoever brought that up, and it was probably brought up, discussed in the privacy of their bedrooms, they brought it to Harry. Now, the servants are not talking to Harry. It would have to be somebody high up in the family. But he says, I will never have that conversation. I will never say it. Maybe it was his father. I don't know. You guys know. A lot of you ladies have got grown children. If your children marries outside of the race, are you curious about what the children will look like? Could be a passing kind of thought, kind of thing. But when you are the royal family and then you voice something like that, and then you call him in, I guess, for a conversation, not anybody can call Prince Harry, or was he Prince Harry now? Whatever. You can't just call him in and talk to him. Not anybody can talk to him like that. Not anybody would be bold enough to have that conversation with them unless they were a part of the family, right? They're only making the point to say it wasn't the Queen. Now, I didn't hear anything about Prince Charles at all. I heard mention of the, unless I'm confusing him, of Philip, because he was ill. He just had surgery, heart surgery. And he was next in line, I believe. But his father is Charles, right? You kind of follow people, honey. Trying to catch up in 3 hours, which I've been following for 20 years. Destiny Lee, I feel like the tabloids got mad at Meghan when they felt like she was breaking tradition when she had her baby and she waited a few days before she came out. Right. There was some kind of photo, traditional photo where they come out holding the baby and she didn't want to do that, whatever. She's probably had it up to here with the goddamn tabloids following her every single move, how she holds the coffee cup. What did she say? Did she nod this way or did she bow this way? Did she curtsy and all this shit? It's probably very nerve-wracking for a person who was not raised up in that stuff, right? But no, those people over, they're pretty mean-spirited. As far as these royals, though, they love them and hate them. It's a love-hate relationship. I guess that is the topic of conversation over there. Those are like their big celebrities. Well, Mark, we all got to be a lighter skin for some kind of way. We're a variety of colors. A lot of people don't realize that white people are a lot of different colors too. You know, look at Harry with that red hair and that real pale type skin, freckles and all that. Then they have people who are darker skin. That's because they're all from different places. Like an Italian white person and a Jewish white person look totally different than Harry, just redhead. But all those different countries, they all have different colors, but they're just not so pronounced as our colors are different, you know. They got blonde hair and red hair and blue hair and purple hair and all kind of different kind of hairs. All kind of different. They have more varieties, I think. So they have all kind of different color eyes and all that kind of stuff. But they are even harder on people mixing between countries. You can imagine. Now that I can see how they treated her. I thought they were going to treat her well. I thought they were going to treat her like we treated Obama. But, you know, of course, he had his haters too. God bless them all. Well, she's still who she is. She still got her man, honey. She still got her kids. They still have enough money to live a good life. You know, they're young. They still have their youth. I mean, her as a mother, her children are going to be a primary thing. It's not going to be about the tabloid, but at least maybe she'll be able to drive out of their gates and not be bombarded with all these damn people, you know, constantly watching her every move. Maybe they can go to a movie or play every once in a while or something. Right? They're in a very nice area. I forgot again already. Anyway, why did I know the damn name of where they are. Santa Barbara. I came through Santa Barbara a few times coming to here. So it's very beautiful there. And there are lots and lots of rich people there. So I can see them living a good life here. And when they're over there, I mean, what is the life really about being a royal? I mean, is it really just about just doing a lot of this kind of stuff? It's not like they have interesting careers or anything being there in the palace. They don't really do anything except be royalty. So here, maybe he'll pursue things that he wouldn't have pursued being a part of that family. She'll take on a career after her kids are of a certain age. I don't know. I just salute the man for sticking with his woman and his family. Okay, so that's my little opinion. Ooh, look at all these comments I missed. Let me hang around a minute, two more. Elizabeth Young, I used to correspond with Piers Morgan 20 years ago and have met Simon Cowell. I've met lots of rich, famous men, but I am not a gold digger. All right. You should have hooked one of them, Elizabeth. I think Piers Morgan, is his career been reignited over there? Or is he still here? I don't know. We'll be able to see a lot more. Maybe I'll get another story out of this. I don't know. We got to see. I am going to check out that Royal show, though, since all of these huge people are watching it, are finding it interesting enough to watch. Maybe I should watch it as well and try to learn something for a change. Piers Morgan should not be classified as a journalist. He should be more like an entertainer. Opinion, a commentator. Charles is Harry's dad. So Charles is the one not taking the calls? Or it's probably Charles, his father. He's got a problem with his father. Right? Now, obviously, he's going to have a problem if he has left the royal family. But it seems like the problem would have started before that. Maybe leaving would be the last straw or something. Ooh, Charles doing phone sex while married to Di. He isn't one to judge. He ought to know people done murdered his damn wife. Shit. He should understand. I mean, what did Diana go through? And she was purely blonde haired and blue eyed. And she still went through a mess, becoming a part of their family. Okay, so now I'm beginning to remember. Thank you, Mona. Oprah sat down and interviewed those guys that claim Michael did something to them. The ones that did the last documentary. Okay, so I do remember there was a controversy because she had put those guys on who were claiming that Michael Jackson had abused them, right? So now, you're basing that on then your disdain for her because you don't believe the guys, or were the guys proven to be liars, or people who were trying to clout chase on this story, kind of thing. I think I do remember something about that. So it may not have been the best decision on her part. But I mean, if you do hundreds and hundreds of interviews, aren't you going to mess up a couple of them? Miss a couple misses? I would say this one is a win. Right. I mean, we're going to relitigate the Michael Jackson situation. For me, he's still the greatest entertainer ever lived. Maybe we'll never know the exact details of what all went on there, Anyway, I don't want to go back into Michael Jackson. Now that's something to do, though. You can go on YouTube, pull up Michael Jackson's old videos. That he was a remarkable entertainer. So I think maybe we have to separate their personal lives from their performing career, because I don't know that you can take much away from him as far as a performer. But then his personal life was a wreck. So I don't remember if I had an opinion about that interview with those boys or not. I don't even remember. Maybe they were lying and exaggerating. When a person's dead, you can't really defend yourself. But the accusations started long before he died. People didn't embrace him until he was dead, or re-embrace him. But we can't expect Oprah Winfrey to get every interview right, every single one. I mean, if you do it for a living, honey, God damn, aren't there going to be some hiccups along the way? I mean, I'm sure you ask anybody, they've had some bad interviews or some bad decisions. I'm sure if you talk to Anderson Cooper, he's made some. Barbara Walters has had some that she didn't consider to be her best ones. These people are not gods, honey. They're just people trying to do a job. Meghan better leave. Meghan better leave the Queen alone. She wasn't, I don't think she was mean to the Queen, though, because they went out of their way to say that the Queen had no part in this. And the Queen always treated her with respect. And you can see that her face lit up when she talked about the Queen. I mean, the Queen will be, the grandmother, right? The grandmother. Yeah. The grandmother, great-grandmother. I'm confused again. But no, neither one of them had much bad to say about the Queen of England. Not that they would, but it seemed to be pretty sincere. He said, I respect my grandmother too much for whatever. Let me see. Okay, we finally got to the end of the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. It is the biggest story in the world right now, besides all the political stuff. Maybe it's just a break, but I'm sure they are cooking over there in Europe. Oprah, they pull Oprah's Michael Jackson accuser documentary in the UK. Okay. They pulled, okay, Oprah's. Don't crucify her. Y'all gonna crucify her for one interview? I mean, come on, people. Linda, I ain't thinking about these people. They she climbing, she clown chasing, she trying to marry her a wealthy European girl. Who the hell don't want to marry a prince? Whatever, people. Y'all, no matter what y'all say, y'all know good and damn well you don't have no problem with marrying well. If you can fall in love with a poor one, you can fall in love with a rich one. If you get an opportunity, let's not start all that foolishness. And they do love each other. I can see it in their eyes, honey. I can see it in their eyes. I will be here forever if I keep on. So thank you guys for coming in. I think CBS is now playing the after interview with Gayle King, with Oprah, and they're playing also the whole episode. If you guys want to catch it. Very interesting. See you guys later.